What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival. And yes, we have been invaded. And we're not talking about the southern border. Everybody knows about that. There's tons of Chinese military age males that were waiting in line, getting bussed across with your taxpayer dollars. But what we're talking about is a Delaware registered company, officially titled Flannery Associates LLC, has begun buying up land, or they began buying up land from 2018 until now. And so this may seem like, oh, not a big deal, but this is a mystery group, as you can see here, mystery group. And this is Australian dollars. That's why I'm saying 1.2 billion buying land around U.S. Air Force Base, but it's $800 million American. Okay, so they've invested $800 million for 55,000 acres of land surrounding the Travis Air Force Base. Okay, investigators say the buy-up became frenzied as of this year. Well, what happened within this past year? Well, we've been posturing with China, closer to war with China. So, of course, they're going to be buying up more land. That's probably what led to this, right? I've got a map here. You can see. So they're buying up all this land around Travis Air Force Base. Now, why is that a key to this story? Well, because it is encroaching on one of the most critical military bases, right? And everybody says no one knows why. They're like, we don't know why. The media is like, we don't know why. A Congressman, Mike Thompson, says this mysterious entity is unwilling to disclose to anyone, local, state, federal, on what they're doing and why they're doing it. So they haven't stated why they bought up this land or the intended purpose. Like, they're not saying they're going to farm there. So why would you buy up a bunch of quote unquote crappy farmland? Because it is crappy farmland. It's not good. Okay. Thompson, he's out of California. Congressman Thompson says, you'd think they'd want to cooperate. They'd want to play ball. He said he's never seen anything like this in history. So the mystery surrounding such a critical military base is what prompted Congressman Thompson to introduce a bipartisan legislation to enhance investigation on land purchases near military bases or national security sites and or critical infrastructure. So Travis Air Force Base is northeast of San Francisco and is strategically significant because it serves as the gateway to the Pacific Ocean. Oh, well, who's in the Pacific Ocean that we're having problems with? It houses large transport aircraft used for refueling smaller planes, sending aid and munitions around the world. But now this mystery company is suing the farmers because they said they inflated the price. And yet we still don't know who owns this, if it's a hostile power. We don't know who Flannery Associates is. So if you see this nature of the case right here, this is a simple case about a group of wealthy landowners who saw an opportunity to conspire, collude, price fix, and illegally overcharge Flannery, a buyer, and they make it seem like it's a guy, like just some guy, a buyer who had approached these landowners on an individual basis to buy their properties in Jepson Prairie, Montezuma Hills area of Solano County, California. This area hosts several utility-scale commercial wind farms, transmission lines, substations, and other infrastructure, as well as numerous environmental conservation and mitigation projects. If the conspirators had acted independently, they could have each individually negotiated a sale with Flannery and made tens of millions of dollars in profits. But the conspirators wanted to make hundreds of millions of dollars, and to do so, they formed a secret conspiracy to drive up prices, super competitive levels, by eliminating the free market competition in the sale of properties that would otherwise occur among the conspirators. So they're suing the farmers for conspiring to sell on inflated prices. Well, why would that be? Well, it could be targeted to bankrupt the farmers. So we get the land, and then we're going to bankrupt you. Flannery claims it has a smoking gun of evidence, including text messages, emails between sellers that reveal they were illegally colluding to sell the farmland for a premium. The families who sold their land to Flannery claimed they didn't want to sell the land in the first place, but they were being pressured by whoever Flannery is, right? So an attorney representing Flannery said that the group is controlled by, listen to this, U.S. citizens, that are 97% of its capital comes from American investors, with the remaining investments coming from the British and Irish citizens. Yeah, that doesn't make a lick of sense, right? So the Heel media group, they actually tried to contact Flannery, but they got no response. Again, they claimed, other than saying that 97% of the investors are U.S. based, the business registry address for the company is located at a packaging shop in a shopping center in Folsom, California. So a random ghost box, because this packaging store is basically like a packaging and shipping place that you can go rent a mailbox at. So it's basically a fake address, this Flannery Associates, that spent $800 million. They don't even have a real business office. They got a box, a PO box somewhere. So does that mean anything? We have Chinese spies here in America posing as soldiers. We have them posing as businessmen, and some even working with politicians. Do you recall this right here? Suspected Chinese spy reportedly slept with courted U.S. officials to gain intel. That guy right there, Eric, that politician right there, Eric Salman, I think his name is, Swalwell, sorry, with this Chinese spy. She slept with multiple politicians, got lots of secrets, right? This is back from 2020. But now we're selling up large chunks of farmland, okay? So they did 8 months of investigation, the Air Force, that is, at Travis Air Force Base, and like a risk review. And they can't identify even one person that's part of Flannery Group. They can't even identify one individual. I do not feel good knowing that our government can't find one guy that has bought up all this farmland, 55,000 acres, and you think we can win a war? We can't find even one of these individuals. The fact that they chose to buy up all 3 sides of Travis Air Force Base raises tons of questions for national security. Wouldn't you agree? And again, the land is like dry farmland, only really good for agricultural grazing. But approaching what you're almost $1 billion price tag seems astronomically high and would essentially take decades to get their money back. So it's not even a good investment. So why would a business do that has a random post office box at a mall, a shopping mall somewhere? And to be such an important part of the equation, that if we had a fight in the Pacific, this would be the main base supplying aircraft and such. So is this Chinese money? Probably. We don't know for sure, but we do know that the Chinese money was used that bought up a lot of North Dakota. Did you hear about that? They bought up 300 acres, North Dakota's 20 minutes from military base. $1.9 billion. So they sunk, like it says here, they sunk their teeth in the U.S. farmland. Firms tied to communist regime now own 192,000 agricultural acres across America, worth $1.9 billion, and purchased 300 acres in North Dakota, 20 minutes from military base. You see those guys right there, the 2021 Fufeng site visit. Those are apparently some of the owners. So a Chinese company purchased hundreds of acres in North Dakota farmland, mere minutes from a major U.S. Air Force base, 20 minutes that is. So it's 200,000 acres of U.S. agricultural land worth $1.9 billion. The Chinese-based food producer Fufeng Plans to build a corn milling plant on its newly acquired 300 acres of land in Grand Forks, right there at Grand Forks Air Force Base. And you know what we have there? These things, our most sensitive drone technology. This is what you call a cover, guys. They have to pretend like they own the land for some reason, right? It's just a coincidence that has to be where our most sensitive drone technology is, right? They could easily intercept signals, passive collection that would be undetectable. We wouldn't even know they were gathering these signals because the requirements to do so would require just ordinary antennas tuned into the right collection frequency. And how important are drones in modern combat? One of the most important things we got, right? It's what we use. So why in the hell are we letting China buy up all this farmland? They completely bought up the pork industry. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's like 100% owned by China. I've got a NPR article here. China owns 380,000 acres of land in the U.S. So over a third of Chinese-owned land in the U.S., including most of what is marked North Carolina, Missouri, belongs to Smithfield Foods. Smithfield Foods is the main pork processor, right? It's the largest. But Smithfield Foods is also one of the top 4 meat packers in the U.S. It's a Virginia-based company, was bought in 2013 by the WH Group. China. So 80%, if you don't know this, 80% of the land, here's total acres of Chinese-owned farmland per county in 2021. Smithfield Foods owns 146,000 acres, accounting for almost all of the Chinese-owned farmland in the state of North Carolina, that is. So 80% of Chinese-owned land is held by Smithfield Foods. I actually stopped eating pork because of this. I actually showed a video, if you guys maybe recall, a while back. I was showing what I cook for breakfast, and people were like, "You're not eating real bacon." Yeah, that's freaking why. Who knows what they're doing to it? It don't even taste the same anymore. But if China owns our food, they can easily control us, right? That's how you control people. Food, trust me, take the food away and see how quickly things collapse, right? They also, if you don't know, they can't make food in China. Most all of it's imported. That's why they eat weird things like sea urchins and pig's feet and chicken feet and things like that. So they can't make their own food. And again, remember, I have a background in global food corporation, so I know this stuff. And why are all of these pieces of property around strategic military bases? I mean, they're saying they don't know. These politicians are saying they don't know. They know. They're freaking in on it. They're in on it. The Chinese government actually has laws, if you don't know this, that allow the government to access information for citizens and corporations. So if it's a Chinese national buying this land, and let's say it's not affiliated with the CCP can get involved with it because they can get involved with anything. They have laws that allow them to access information held by any citizen or corporation. So again, this is basically their CCP has their hands in everything. And if you remember, Trump said that China was our biggest threat, but they called him a racist and xenophobe for that. If you recall, there were smear articles all over the internet. But Biden received $30 million from the Chinese government. Maybe that's why we're just handing America on over on a platter, right? So this is very serious, you know, and they have a huge control over our food supply. If you didn't watch my video last night, I highly suggest going to go watch that we're already at war. They said they'd use viruses, biological, as well as hacking, malware, ransomware, stuff like that, computer viruses. They also own much of our food. So what if they cut all these things off at the snap of a finger? What do you think is going to happen to America? No round will even have to be fired. That's what we were talking about last night. No round will have to be fired. That will destroy us. They're setting up the chessboard right now, and you have to be blind not to see it. Things are in play. We're at war. They just ain't figured it out, or they are, and they're in on it. Maybe that's why you see Justin Trudeau act the way he does. He's in on as well, because Canada owns a ton of farmland in the U.S. too, if you didn't know that. So get prepared, get a network. A lot of people were asking about the tribe last night, like, what is it? It's extremely important to network, especially with times like this. My followers asked me, maybe like, what, a year or two ago, please use your platform to connect people. And so I did. I used my platform to connect people. Okay, so we developed a tribe, and how it works is, because some people were asking last night, how does it work? If you join our network, that basically you get to communicate daily with other tribesmen. They share intel, resources, knowledge, things like that. A lot of people varying skill sets, and you form communities by state, their state breakdown, or the neighboring state, right? So you get involved with people within your state. And this isn't just like you just talk to them on the internet. You go meet them. That's how we do this thing. And so you organize within your state or the neighboring state, because some people live like right on the border and they're actually close to someone in a neighboring state. Right? You organize. Typically, tribe members get together. They may make events, or some guys have made like big events where they go to a shooting range for a day and cook barbecue and shoot. Other times they're like a training weekend where they go camping and train together. Some people just meet for a bite to eat and have a beer. But you can develop a network and a plan for worst case scenario with like-minded people. That's what we are. We're a bunch of like-minded people. These people align with your belief system. So this is no brainer is why we did it. So the tribe link is below. You can join the tribe, get connected. All the tribe members can chime in and tell you how much they love it and how many great relationships they made. And you don't want to wait till the last minute, because when comms do go down, you already have this network built and developed. Okay. The other thing is that people have been asking for shirt restock. We got the flag tees back in stock, all sizes. Make sure you go snap them up. They never last long. Our other shirts are on sale as well. So go grab them up. And all of the shirts on the inside have a secret message. And this one says, what does it say? Don't get beat up in this shirt. Right. So anyway, go grab you one while they're there. And HE, thank you for I appreciate your comment there. Just want to confirm late night Thursday nights. So usually this is Crayon Eater. Yes, usually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday usually. Thanks, HE. Thank you, Chris and Ashley. Fox, thank you as well. And again, thanks again, buddy. Anyway, China is cutting off the drones, by the way. They're cutting off the drone. They're going to cut off shipping, I think, September 1st. So you're going to see it's going to be very difficult to get a drone here in the U.S. So DJI, I saw them put out a statement. And so drone technology will be very, very hard to get in civilian hands. So if you want one, I suggest getting one before it's too late. Anyhow, guys, let me know your comments, your thoughts. I want to know, what do you think about this farmland? Do you know of any other situations like this as well, or anything kind of related in this realm of malware, biological viruses? We just talked about the lab, the Chinese spies in the military. Is there anything else out there that are the chess pieces being staged on the board, ready for battle? Let me know in the comments. Remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Come join our tribe and become one of us. Take care.